We are not that tech savvy, so bear with us.
Mr. Kannan is there. He'll help you. No issue. We'll handle.
So there is Professor Samaraju, right? And Professor Gopal. And David.
Today, Mr. Yashpal, today we have many senior professors joining us. K.V. Ramarao and many senior professors, stalwarts of 90s and 80s, they are joining today.
I'm talking about 70s and 60s.
Even beyond my imagination. Okay, 60s and
Please
70s.
don't give me any more homework or periodicals and tests. No more, please. Paid our dues.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Good morning. Good morning to you. And I think is that Professor David Powell? I suppose. I think I'm able to. Namaskar. This is Sastry.
Very Sastry ji, I can't see him.
Yeah, can you? Or is it difficult?
Do you see anybody sees Dr. Shastri's picture yet?
No, Professor Sastry. I think video is off, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How come?
I'll volume cut.
Just now. Oh, okay.
Yes, close the camera, sir. I'll speak to him.
Okay. Me?
Yeah, no, Professor Sastry.
Please.
I'll speak to him.
I'm able to see everybody.
Why are you hiding?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not hiding. Maybe I'm not in this. I think best thing is.
We see your name. See your space.
Yeah, Vedula. That is Vedula SV. And then I need to put in the. I think they may be having a bandwidth problem.
Others see Dr. Sastry?
Yeah. It's live, I think. Professor Ramarao is also there. I think you'll have a bandwidth problem. I better be off.
No, sir. I think you should be on.
Okay.
Please, you can turn on your video.
Is that Professor David?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. Maybe first, I think you can introduce. We can introduce ourselves before others join. And
Sure, sir. Sure.
I think. I think what happened. Initially I did pop in. Maybe I think he's working on it. Mr. Kannan, could you see what is happening? Oh, yeah.
Vasanti, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, Professor.
Yeah, my name is Gopal. You will not
Yes.
recognize that name.
Okay.
Professor VGK Murthy. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Uday, நீங்க ரெக்வெஸ்ட் கொடுத்ததுல ஏதாவது வீடியோ எனேபிள் பண்ண முடியுமா? அவர் சாஸ்திரிக்கு வேதுலா எஸ்பின்னு வருது இல்லையா உதய்?
இல்ல சொல்லுங்க மேடம், என்ன வேணும்?
ஹோஸ்ட் ரெக்வெஸ்ட் கொடுத்து எனேபிள்னு வரும் இல்லையா, அந்த வீடியோ அத மாதிரி பண்ண முடியுமா?
No.
இல்ல கோ-ஹோஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டா போறோம். if anyone wants
இல்ல சாஸ்திரியோட வீடியோ எனேபிள் ஆகல இல்லையா?
இல்ல அது பண்ண முடியாது. அவரோட கேமராவை நான் ஓபன் பண்ண முடியாது.
Okay.
Microphone mute aachna, I can click on that mic and indication will go to him to open the mic.
I will restart then if that is the case. I think my camera. Oh, I'm sorry, my camera is not on. I think I had to come out and restart it.
Okay. No need to restart, sir. It is a USB camera or what?
Huh? It is what? It's not a USB camera. It is built into the.
Built in. Then that might be some other software might be there, sir. You can just restart.
That's what I said.
Some other software, Skype or something would have taken that camera.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay. Leave and restart.
Yes, sir.
Namaskar, Murthy garu. Namaskar. Hello, Dr. Pillai.
Good evening, Professor Murthy. Good to see you.
Good evening,
Good evening,
everybody.
sir. Professor Shankaran has also joined the call, I think.
Oh, that's nice.
Somaraju from Visakhapatnam, sir. From Gayatri Vidyalaya.
How are you, Rao? B.A. Rao?
Oh, BV Rao. Okay.
ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ
BV Rao.
ಇವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡಿ
ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ
ಹಾ.
ಕೇಳ್ಸತ್ತಾ
ಹಾ.
Shankaran, how are you?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Yeah, doing all right.
nice to see so many good old friends.
Yes, indeed.
I had already honored VV Sastry in 1978 with the Invention
Yes.
Award.
Hello, Professor Rao. B.V. Rao.
Hi, Madhavi.
Hello, Madhavi. How are you?
Oh, KVS Ravara.
I'm not sure.
PS Rao is here.
Yes, Rao. Rao garu etla unnaru?
Rao garu.
Yeah, he's here. I see PS Rao, VG Murthy.
Yes, Rao, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some are new.
Hello, Sastry.
Yeah, your video is on, sir.
Sastry.
Yes, I did turn it on. Okay, now I'll. Okay, yeah, you're able to see me.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Miss Vasanthi? Madam?
Yeah. Yeah, yes. Yeah, it's me, Vasanthi.
Meet you all together.
You
can see Sastriji now.
Oh my God.
I just, Professor Murthy garu, I just want to introduce you to Professor Somaraj garu, who is the secretary of GVP College of Engineering, and most of the GVP institutions are under his stewardship.
Thank you, Sastry. Thank you.
I'm not getting the audio. What is the problem?
We are able to hear you, sir. Please.
ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ
Made it unmuted.
ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Good morning, Dr. Shodhi Mahesh here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Hello,
How are
good-
you?
Good. How are you? Am I visible?
Yes, you are.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, sir. Hi,
I'm not hearing you.
Hi.
I know Mahesh. This is
It looks like a professor's reunion. Let me join as a student, former student of Dr. Sastry.
Oh,
And Professor Shankaran is also here.
I'm not able to hear anybody speaking.
Dr. Sastry,
Okay.
yes.
I was in 72 batch.
Okay.
Did the electromagnetic levitation?
It's okay now.
Now is it okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Fine then. Okay.
I'm able to hear.
I'm fine. I'm in Chennai now. I live in Chennai. Yeah, retired.
I forgot your name.
Vishwanathan.
Oh, Vishwanathan. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. We had also that, what do you call, SLIM, you know?
Yes.
Single-sided linear index model and all that.
Yes. Okay.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Rashtantina, this is Girish. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Girish. Good evening.
Mahesh.
Hi. Hello, Professor P.S. Rao. Professor Rao, Bavanara. How are you?
Thank you.
For those
There's
of
a lot of
you,
intellectual horsepower on this call, huh, Mahesh? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm happy to bring it down a notch. Thank you.
వెళ్ళి చూసుకోవాలి అక్కడ ఓపెన్ దాన్ని అక్కడ నీ పేరు ఉంటుంది చూసావా 3 dots ఉంటుంది 1 minute I'll come back.
Hey,
Narendra Kapoor.
Hi.
Hi guys, Daljit Dev Singh.
Hey,
Daljit.
Hi, Daljit.
Where is Yash? Hi guys. Hey, Narendra Kapoor. Hi, yaar.
Hi.
Where is Yash?
Sir, namaskar everyone. This is Kannan Krishnamurthy from ACR office. Kindly mute your microphones. Whoever are not speaking, please mute your microphones. Or even I can mute you, and if you want, you can unmute and speak, sir.
I don't know how it works.
Can I speak to Yash?
Let me check, sir. I think you should be online.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. He's there, sir. Sir, please.
Nobody can miss me here.
So, Vasanti, shall we get started?
Professor Bhaskar has
Yeah, he's joined.
joined now.
Sir, I request everyone to locally mute your microphones, please.
Shall we start, Professor?
Yes, please.
People who are not aware of, they can just simply press the space bar on the laptop. It gets muted. When you want to speak, you can press the space bar again.
Shall we
It gets
start?
unmuted.
Yeah, I'm unmute.
Yes, madam.
Good evening. Good morning to all. Okay. Good evening, one and all. Of course, good morning to all joining from IIT of team from other zones. I'm Vasanti Subramanian, working in Alumni and Corporate Relations. Today we are meeting here for V. Sastry Chair launch. May I now request Professor Magesh Panchankula, our Dean Alumni and Corporate Relations, to address.
Thank you, Vasanti. Good morning and good evening to all the attendees here. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome this gathering of extremely distinguished alumni, faculty members, and former faculty members to this evening's chair launch. It is indeed a pleasure to see such a gathering, and especially a gathering that involves people who have built IIT Madras into the institution that it is today. I want to first start by thanking all of the former faculty members on this call, because of whose efforts IIT is what it is today. Thank you very much, sirs, for your hard work and for your dedication during your stint with IIT to hand us an institution that we are today extremely proud of to be part of. It is also my distinct honor, and it has been my privilege for the past several months to have known Dr. Yashpal Sodhi and Madam Parminder Sodhi, Colonel Parminder Sodhi. They're remarkable individuals. I mean, it is alumni like them that make my job worth its while. Dr. Yashpal Sodhi has lived his life in the world of technology related to defense. And Colonel Sodhi, Tina Sodhi, has been part of the U.S. Army as a medical doctor. From what I've learned, she is the highest ranked Indian American in the U.S. Army, and it's an honor and privilege to have know these individuals and the dedication with which they have chosen to give back to their alma mater, IIT Madras. Thank you very much, Dr. Sodhi and Madam, for your gift from the bottom of your heart. It is that which makes this gift very special. Thank you very, very much for endowing this chair. And I welcome all of you to this evening's gathering, and we look forward to the chair launch. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. As Professor said, yes, we have many senior faculty members joined us today to build the great institute that we have today. We are very glad for your presence, sirs. Thank you very much for your time. Now, may I request Professor V.G.K. Murthy, former head, Electrical Department, to address the participants and share his experiences with Professor V.V. Sastry and felicitate him. Professor V.G.K. Murthy, please.
Hello.
Professor?
Yeah.
Yeah, please address us, please.
Yes. Greetings to everybody, all the participants and the viewers. I'm so happy today for the special reason that I know I consider B.B. Sastry as one of my close friends, and I had known him right through his tenure of service at IIT Madras and interacted with him a great deal. Professor Sastry
Audio.
Professor Murthy?
Kannan, Professor Murthy unmute பண்ணனும் கண்ணன். கோபாலன் எழுதிருக்கு அவர்தான்.
வர இல்ல நான் அன்மியூட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஏன்னா அவருக்கு இது பண்ணிருப்பார். I can send a message to him. Yeah.
I'll give him a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a phone call to him.
Okay.
Where's my phone?
இப்ப பண்ணிருப்பார் பாருங்க பேசுங்க. I sent a message. Professor Murthy, can you hear us, sir?
I can hear you, but are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, Professor, please.
Yeah. Okay. He took a leading role in the development of the machines lab, and I remember his construction of the linear induction motor was a big hit. He initiated the activity in power electronics area in the machines lab, which was a novelty at that time, and developed it along with his students and colleagues. He developed computer programs for optimization of the design of electrical machines and for the simulation of power electronic circuits. Apart from this, he organized the departmental computer facility and supervised its working for a number of years. All his work has a practical flavor, and fittingly, he gave immense support to the Institute's policy of links with industry through his consultancy assignments and the projects that he has undertaken. I also happen to know that at the National University of Singapore, he initiated the work in power electronics and he built the lab facilities over there. I have always admired the work culture of Professor Sastry. I have known very few people with the same urge and motivation for research, the same diligence, and the same tenacity of purpose till the very end. Work is worship for him, and holidays and Sundays are no different from working days. At the age of 80, he is pressing on with his academic and research work at an engineering college in Visakhapatnam under the chairmanship of Professor P.S. Rao. So this speaks for itself for his commitment to academic and R&D work. It is a chair in his honor and his name is but a fitting tribute to his accomplishments here and abroad in USA. I'm sure that the occupants of the chair will each will mark their own stamp of excellence on this chair. It is I convey my greetings and commendations to Mr. and Mrs. Singh for sponsoring this chair. It is an indication of their love for their alma mater and and love for their mentor, Professor Sastry. Finally, I would like to extend my warm greetings and felicitations to Professor Sastry. Professor Sastry, this recognition in your honor is an indication of your achievements. You have made all these achievements possible through your hard work, perseverance, intellectual prowess, and tenacity. I congratulate you and wish you and your family all the best in future. I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to speak on this occasion. Thank you.
Madam Vasanthi, you should unmute and speak.
Fine. Thank you, Professor. Thank you for the nice words. And we are really great to know the long association. Now we have alumni and well-wishers messages. We are first having Professor Bhuvaneshwari of IIT Delhi. Madam Bhuvaneshwari, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, please proceed.
Thank you for this opportunity. It is a great honor to speak in this occasion. I was Professor Sastri's PhD student from 1988 to 1992. And he was as hardworking as ever. Now also he is extremely hardworking. His enthusiasm, his energy, these are unmatched, I would say. And he had a tremendous foresight. And I don't think anybody talked about real-time control in those days, but he is the first one to purchase a digital signal processor, and he encouraged us to use it in the laboratory. We did try, but I can't say we really succeeded. He also really encouraged us to collaborate with industries. He wanted always our research ideas to be translated into real products ultimately. So he was always interested in helping the industries and helping ourselves in one sense to learn more. I think today all his students are doing very, very well because of his mentorship. And we learned really how to be hardworking, how to really persevere and chase our goals completely. And the way he is really shaping Gayatri Vidya Parishad, that is again, a very clear example of how enthusiastic and how encouraging he is. So this is a very proud moment for all of us. And I wish him many more years of productive life. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now we are having a video with messages on this occasion. Mr. Kannan Krishnamurthy, can you kindly play the video for us? Do we get the audio?
No.
No, madam. No, we are not getting the audio.
I have to start the audio video again.
He knows power electronics. He knows how to build things.
So
he is a great teacher.
Again, please.
But I was also told that Professor V.V. Sastry, he was a young man, young, angry man when I joined at IIT Madras. I was told that he is probably one of the most competent person. He knows power electronics. He knows how to build things. He is a great teacher. But I was also told that he is not easy to get along. And I soon tasted it. This is early 80s. I took my own time to start getting to know him more and learn about him. Over time, I developed huge respect. Because even though he was somewhat tough, but he would deliver. He knew technology and his interest was to deliver. Unfortunately, he was probably too early for his time. That time, the industry-academia relationship was hardly there. That time, getting projects from industry and delivery was hardly there. The whole army of project staff that we can recruit and use was not available at that time. This was 80s. But of course, he was very dear to certain students because he has contributed and was absolutely excellent. And therefore, I'm very glad that some of his students have set up this chair in his name. He needs to be remembered. He is the person who made a difference to the department and played an important role in getting the department to where it is today. Our innovations, which can really touch large markets. And this is what India needs today. And I think Professor V. Sastry would have been the right person to drive things like this. We wish him the best retired life, and we are really proud to have a chair in his name. Thank you very much.
I am very happy to be participating in today's function to launch the chair in the Electrical Engineering Department of IIT Madras, named after Professor V.V. Sastry, a former professor in the department. It is a fitting tribute to him for his contributions in teaching, research, and practical design in the domain of power electronics and energy systems at various leading institutions like IIT Kharagpur, IIT Madras, Iowa State University, United Technologies Corporation, and the Boeing Company in USA. Both of us were guided in our careers by the belief that whatever we teach, carry out research on, or offer our consulting to outside organizations, they must have an immediate practical impact. Currently, he is the director of our Center of Excellence for Development of Technologies for e-vehicles. In this endeavor, we look forward to working with the faculty of leading institutions like IIT Madras, IIT Mumbai, and other institutes. I have great pleasure in congratulating Professor V.V. Sastry on the honor bestowed on him and Professor Amitav Dasgupta, who is going to be the first occupant of the chair. Thank you.
I am extremely happy to know that a chair has been instituted in Professor Shastry's name. He has always stood for research excellence and has also always emphasized application-oriented activity for researchers. I have known him from my UG days when I used to work in the same lab as his research scholars, and I have noticed how intense his research activities have always been. His intentions to help the researchers, I see, has only increased with his age. And he has now taken up the role at GVP in an advisory way to help the research community there. And I am also aware of the extent to which he has established research activities at that institute. At this point in time, I only wish him a very healthy future ahead. And I would like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to the donor for instituting this award at IIT.
I'm Shiv Prasad. I'm currently the Vice President of Offer Management at one of the Schneider Electric divisions. I did my undergrad from IIT Madras from 1991 to 95. I did my undergrad project under Dr. Sastry, and I still have this here. It's about power quality improvements. And I would say that for the last 25 years, in some way, I've been involved in this field. One of the things that was very interesting working with Dr. Sastry, he always used to say that if your GPA is less than 8.5, then you'll be selling the product. And if it's more than 8.5, then you'll be making and creating the product. So I'm really happy and proud to say that it's over 25 years now, and I'm still in product creation. So thanks a lot to Dr. Sastry. A few things I would say that really stood out about Dr. Sastry. One is of course, his work ethics and the dedication that he has towards whatever task he takes up. And also his drive to always have the best technology for us. So really happy that Dr. Sastry is getting felicitated. So my congratulations to Dr. Sastry.
Thank you, Kannan. We sincerely thank Professor P. Srinivasa Rao, Professor Junjunwala, Professor Krishna Vasudevan, Mr. Himanshu, our alumnus, and Professor Bhuneshwari, our alumna, for sharing the insightful memories about Professor V.V. Sastry. Here, we have a message from Professor K.N. Bhatt, former faculty of Department of Electrical Engineering. Here it is. My hearty congratulations to Professor V.V. Sastry. Professor Sastry is a highly dedicated teacher and a globally well-known research worker in his area of expertise. He was admired by his students as well as by his colleagues for his dedication to work and for his contributions to power electronics. Power electronics industries have gained a lot by interacting with Professor V.V. Sastry. And that's it. Thank you, Professor Bhatt, for this warm message on this occasion. We now have a video for you. Mr. Kannan, can you kindly play the sweet memories that we have?
Right away, please.
About my happy moments in IIT Madras, okay? Happiness is one state of mind, okay? So, I started my life in 68. 70s, I saw a scope for doing research. We developed an electric car in the IIT campus, and two of my BTech students, they drove it in the city. That's an electric car which we took a junk car, we built the whole thing with a motor, with a battery, with a kind of starter and controls and all that. That's my first happy moment in 70s. I want to go to Singapore because they gave me this kind of thing. There I learned and did research in power electronics with their funding. I came back with that ideas back and then start to do things in my own way, most effective way back in IIT. So every time when I go out, I look for opportunities and ideas. But when I came back, I worked with, that is the time when I felt the need for computer-based education and then building computers in the departments, even at the individual level also. So I built a real-time lab also at that point in time. I did not succeed at that time, but today I'm different. I'm now succeeding here. Okay, that is my second happy moment in the 80s. I felt I continued to be a researcher, academician to the core. And that's what brought me back after 12 years, 13 years of my stay in US. Okay, and I'm back here for the last 8 years. I'm doing teaching and learning, teaching research and applying research methods to teaching and industrial consulting. I'm still active as you are seeing today. That's all. Thank you so much.
Namaste. Hello. I would like to begin by first thanking Mr. Yashpal Singh Sodhi for his contribution that led to the establishment of this chairmanship in my father's name. Students have always been a big part of his life, and so we're all very excited that IITM provided this opportunity to honor him.
Dear, we lost the audio.
Hobby. He showed me that there was another way, and that is to never retire. And it made me realize that when you find passion in your work, then there is no retiring from it. And he's a living example of that. So we admire your perseverance and your tenacity, and we hope to follow in your footsteps.
As my mother mentioned, I've been able to watch my grandfather forge a long, illustrious career in the field of electrical engineering. As a student myself, I've looked to emulate this journey, studying electrical engineering as a bachelor's degree, and now starting my career as an intern at a local energy company.
As his favorite granddaughter, Dadguru always supports me in all of my endeavors. When I did a solo dance performance in Chennai, it was a very nerve-wracking experience. And it was very calming to see his face along with the rest of my family in the audience to support me.
As a graduate of IIT Madras myself, I did not have the pleasure of having Professor Sastry as a teacher because I graduated from mechanical engineering. But I would like to think that my time there, along with my publication record, had something to do with him accepting me as his son-in-law. I've gotten to know him very well over the last 20 plus years and come to understand how much IIT Madras means to him. And we really appreciate this opportunity for him to continue the association with the Institute. I'd like to close by thanking the organizers for giving us all an opportunity to participate virtually in this ceremony. Thank you.
Professor V.V. Sastry has been married to me as well as to his academic profession for the past 50 years. He is always hardworking and works 10 to 12 hours even to this very day. His students' academic success is a pride and joy for him. Our life in IITM, I'm very fortunate to have lived in the integrated IIT campus as much as he enjoyed its academic ambience. Life with him has been quite enjoyable. It has been a fun ride. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, these clippings are really taking us down the memory lane. We feel more connected and honored to know the impact of his dedicated service to the Department of Electrical Engineering and the Institute. Lovely to see the wonderful family and their messages on this occasion. Madam Annapurna reminisced about her married life and campus integrated life very nicely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Kannan Krishnamurthy. Now, thank you, Mr. Kamal and Mr. Girish, Ms. Andrea for joining us. May now request Mr. Girish Mukai, CEO of IITMF, IIT Madras Foundation, to address on this occasion.
Thank you, Vasanthi. On behalf of IIT Madras Foundation and the folks that are on the call and also not on the call, I mean, Kamal, Andrea, Nag, and others, it is my pleasure. This thing started late last year when we received a phone call from Yash, and who said that Professor Sastry has had such an outsized influence on him when he was at IIT and beyond, that he wanted to do something by setting up a chair, and that's what triggered this stuff. Got to know Yash and Tina subsequently, and it's just amazing to know the contributions that they have made in terms of science, engineering, and medicine here. And also, Tina, thank you for your service that you have provided, through being in the armed services here as well. It is so heartening to know that IITM has had such an influence on Yash's life, which is very, very similar to what IITM has had on all of us as well here, right, in our journey. Nelson Mandela said once that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And that is exactly what IIT Madras is doing as well. I mean, this is the most powerful weapon, education at its highest level, the best level. Director Bhaskar, Dean Mahesh, Dean Raghu, and all the other faculty and others who are here, you're really striving very, very hard in making sure that the best education is provided, to everyone, and then you're making a lasting impact here. With Yash and Tina, we're just so fortunate to have you as a donor for this. And what we are also realizing is the generosity that you have exhibited is quite special. You've gone to such a length to make sure that this happens, and then this chair is set up. So we are just grateful. We cannot be more thankful, and I think you are a role model for IIT Madras alumni as well as others who are leaving a legacy, who want to leave a legacy, a lasting legacy here at IIT Madras. And hearing about Professor Sastry, realize the impact that he has had on many, many people. So heartening to know that. And also just wanted to add that we at IIT Madras Foundation, we just love working with everybody at IIT Madras, the faculty, the staff, and of course the students in advancing the mission. And let's continue to make IIT Madras #1, not only in India, which we already are, but also across the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Girish. Thank you, our IITM volunteers. Now, may now request Mr. Yash, fondly called Yash, and Tina, formally Mr. Yashpal Singh Sodhi and Mrs. Parminder Singh, to say a few words on this occasion.
Honored today to be in such august company. It was 56 years ago, almost a lifetime, when I joined the IIT Madras. The first 3 years were spent in workshops, history, English, German, thermodynamics, etc., everything except electricity. It was essentially preparing us, laying the foundation for the hard work ahead. Then came Professor Sastry in our lives, talking about electricity and electrical machines. And then we realized we are in an engineering school. And he was everything that a student could wish for. A no-nonsense man, no light talk, no jokes, only serious subject matter. You can call it shortcoming or you can call it a quality, whatever. The other professors had light talk, jokes, but Professor Sastry meant business all the time, which will, ultimately we began to really love it. Okay. So, but his in-depth command of the subject matter and the way he presented it to students was hard to match. He somehow inculcated in his students, well, at least in me, the love of the subject matter. I was able to build up on the knowledge I gained in his classroom. This helped me to be very successful in industry as well as the US Navy. In US, there were very few power engineers, electrical power engineers. Everybody was electronics or computers. So wherever I went, it was very easy to succeed because nobody could match what we had been taught at IIT Madras. So as a senior engineer in the US Navy, the Naval Sea Systems Command, the command that handles all the weapons and ships under the water and over the water. This is the largest command of the US Navy. So I was a co-leader of a group of 200 or more than 200 professionals drawn from the government, industry, and academia in ensuring that our Navy stays #1 in the world, to keep. This won us Vice President Gore's highest award. And it has saved hundreds of millions of dollars for the US government. During the last few years or so, I constantly thought of how I could return in some way what I got from my education at IIT Madras. Whenever I thought of the IIT, Professor Sastry's image came in my mind. And at one time in the US Navy, I was made in charge of a new weapon system, electrothermal gun. Now, I did not know that Professor Sastry was in linear induction motors and other things, because we could have used that knowledge with tremendous gains in US military. So if I had known, could have funded him for further research there. In any case, I'm glad that he's doing the same things that the most powerful country in the world is looking to do. So by helping establishing this chair to honor Professor Sastry, I'm attempting to fulfill my own desire to pay back a small fraction of what the IIT and Professor Sastry in particular gave me. I shall remain grateful to the IIT Madras as well as Professor Sastry as long as I live. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yash.
Somehow we lost you.
Tina, you are there with us.
Oh, we cannot.
Now we see.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay.
I could not see myself. Okay.
Okay. Really, Yash, it's quite heartening to see the impression that the institute and Professor Sastry made in your life. And it's quite heartening that you have chosen to leave the legacy by contributing and by endowing a chair at IITM in name of Sastry. Thank you. Thank you, alumnus. And I now request Professor Bhaskar, our director, to announce the chair.
Good morning to our beloved friends in the US, alumni, Dr. Yash Sodhi, Mrs. Sodhi, Girish, and I don't know who else has joined, but to all of them there. And of course, my pranams to my teachers, Professor V.G.K. Murthy, Professor Sastry. I will include, though I was not fortunate to have been taught by him. The period I was here, somehow he didn't take classes for us. I think he had left, he had gone on sabbatical or something. Nevertheless, I count him as one of my teachers. And Professor P.S. Rao, greetings to you also. I remember fondly our meeting a couple of years ago. So this is indeed a great honor. I'm also a student of the Electrical Engineering Department, graduated in 1980. In fact, the center of gravity of the department, if you want to call it that, used to be in the power side, so-called, the high current side machines and so on in that time. Some of us who were in the light current, as the Germans called it, the electronic side, it was a growing side of the department. In the 90s and 2000s, I would say the center of gravity shifted to some extent, somewhat alarmingly. I used to, in my own mind, worry a little bit. I sort of didn't see it come. I can't say I saw it coming, but I sort of guessed that very fundamental principles of electrical engineering, as are embedded in the design and the develop and the working of machines, the power electronics, and so on, will certainly come back in a big way, as it has. And I used to worry about the thinning out of that part of the department. But I think one of the things I learned now is that over the years is that our pioneering faculty, the faculty who were in the first and second generation in the institute, have laid such strong foundations. People like Professor Murthy, Professor Sastry, Professor P.S. Rao, that the department reforms itself, reshapes itself into whatever it has to do to address all the current challenges, current state of the art. So today, if you come to the electrical engineering department with 70 plus faculty, you'll find all these areas are well represented. We are having a thriving group in power electronics, modern machine design, including machines for or power motors for DC motors, all kinds of motors for these new, the huge surge now in electric vehicles and other applications. So, and of course, we also are quite strong in the electronic side, in telecommunications, for photonics, microelectronics, whatever. So these are the people who have laid the foundation, and so many of their students are now faculty in the department. So I think by creating this chair on honor of Professor V.V. Sastry, I think both Mr. and Mrs. Sodhi have done a great service, because they are nailing this onto the wall, saying that yes, these are the people who have built the department, people like Professor Sastry. And of course, it's so nice to hear how Mr. Sodhi himself benefited so much, and how much a difference one person can make in shaping one's thinking, one's career, one's future. And therefore, as a mark of his gratitude, he's creating this chair. What it does is, of course, it honors Professor Sastry. It also, reminds us of the great achievements of Mr. Sodhi himself. But more than that, I think, as I said, it establishes the huge role played by the faculty who, as Ashok, my colleague Ashok said, pursued excellence in very difficult times, in times where there's very little resources. As a country, there was a lot of difficulty in doing anything that is advanced technology, but yet they never reduced the bar. They always established what was it that can be done and should be done. So that it was very easy after that for the next generation, who had a better environment to work in, to actually pursue those lines and do many of the things that they actually showed us how to do. So I think, therefore, this creation of this chair in honor of Professor V.V. Sastry by our alumnus Mr. Sodhi is very, very timely and very important. And I didn't know that he had built an electric car in the 70s. I wish, though, we had taken pictures. There's no question of videos, but at least we have taken pictures from that time. If we have a heritage center in the institute, if any of you can fish out the picture, we'll be more than happy to, put it in our heritage collection. So I'm very happy to announce the V.V. Sastry chair today. And I hope the occupants of the chair, I'm sure Amitav Das Gupta, the first occupant, will do great justice to the chair. But I'm sure the future occupants also will carry on the torch that has been lit by these pioneering faculty of IIT Madras. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. May now request Professor Dave Koilpillai to read the citation of the chair occupant, please.
Citation for Professor Amitava Das Gupta, first occupant of the V.V. Sastry chair. Professor Amitava Das Gupta received his Bachelor of Engineering degree in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from Jadavpur University, Kolkata in 1982 with a gold medal for his academic performance. He then obtained his MTech degree in Electrical Engineering from IIT Madras in 1984 and PhD degree from IIT Kharagpur in 1988. He began his career as a lecturer in IIT Kharagpur in 1988. He joined IIT Madras as an assistant professor in 1993 and has been a professor since 2006. Over the years, he has established himself as an enthusiastic teacher as well as an excellent researcher. Professor Das Gupta has taught various courses in the areas of semiconductor devices and circuits. He has been consistently rated as an excellent teacher by his students. His NPTEL lecture series on digital integrated circuits is extremely popular. He has supervised and mentored many students who have gone on to become excellent academicians in top universities and institutes in India and abroad. Professor Das Gupta has nearly 200 research publications in international journals and proceedings of international conferences, and has co-authored a book on semiconductor devices modeling and technology. Many of his papers are highly cited. He has supervised more than 25 research scholars for their MS and PhD degrees. His research interests are in the areas of semiconductor device modeling and technology and microelectromechanical systems, or MEMS. In recent years, his focus is on technology and modeling of gallium nitride-based devices and RF MEMS. He is a leading member of the Microelectronics and MEMS group in the Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Madras and has contributed significantly to the development of the Center for Nano-Electromechanical Systems and Nanophotonics. He is the principal investigator, or co-PI, of a number of sponsored research projects whose monetary value exceeds rupees 100 crores. He is also leading the activities of the Center of Excellence in Gallium Nitride Research and Development, which is a flagship program of IIT Madras. For his achievements, Professor Das Gupta has received many technical awards and recognitions. He is a Dard Fellow of the Institute für Hochfrequenztechnik in the Technical University of Darmstadt in Germany. He is also associate editor of the Institute of Smart Structures and Systems, Journal of Micro and Smart Systems of Springer, and the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunications Engineering, IIT Technical Review. He is a fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. Professor Dasgupta is a very empathetic person, and his students and colleagues vouch for his calm temperament and helpful nature. He is able to carry people along, which is most important in sustaining a large group of researchers with diverse expertise and background. Apart from academics, he is also a keen follower of sports, which helps him bond with young students easily. In conclusion, Professor Dasgupta is an excellent academician and researcher. More importantly, he's a warm person who is very popular among his students and colleagues, not only for his academic brilliance, but also for his human qualities and interpersonal skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor Dave Kulpille. Now I request our director to honor the chair occupant with a memento. Uday, can you project the memento for chair occupant, please?
Okay. So I'm very happy to present this memento to my colleague and occupant of the first occupant of the VV Sastry chair, Professor Amitav Dasgupta.
Thank you, Professor. Now I request Professor Amitava Dasgupta to give us an acceptance speech, please.
Professor, thank you, Professor Bhaskar, and thank you, Professor David, and thank you for all those who are present here. This is indeed a very proud moment for me. I have been a student at this institute. I have also spent 28 years as a faculty at IIT Madras. It has been a wonderful experience being a part of this great institute for 3 decades. Whatever success I have achieved in my academic activities is due to the help and support I have received from the institute, my mentors, my colleagues, and all my students with whom I had the opportunity to work with. I'm grateful to all of them. I also thank the institute for choosing me for this honor, which is something I will cherish all my life. I thank Mr. Yashpal Sodhi and Mrs. Parminder Sodhi for instituting this chair in honor of Professor V.V. Sastry, a person who I used to look up to when I joined this institute as a young faculty. I still recall some of our meetings. Although our specializations were different, he worked in power electronics while I was in microelectronics. He always stopped to inquire about my work when we met in the corridors of the electrical engineering department. I remember he used to encourage me to work on device modeling, something which I have kept doing over the years. So it is a great honor for me today to be the first recipient of the chair instituted in Professor Shastri's name. If I were to choose my most important contribution to the institute, it would be my contribution towards the microelectronics and MEMS laboratory and the setting up of Center for NEMS and Nanophotonics. This center has several state-of-the-art facilities and keeps growing. Since its inception, it has catered to not only about 80 faculty of our institute, but also to other organizations outside IIT Madras. In my remaining years in the institute, I shall work towards strengthening the center and putting in place systems which ensure that the center keeps on growing in stature for many decades to come. Another passion with me now is the area of gallium nitride-based devices, which I believe will have a huge impact on communications and power electronics systems. I'm happy that the Institute has given me the opportunity to lead a center on gallium nitride research and development. I shall work towards making a difference in this field. Finally, on a very personal note, I would particularly like to thank my wife and colleague Nandita. Her unstinted support in all my activities, academic or otherwise, has been an important factor in whatever success I have achieved. I again thank everyone involved for choosing me for this honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. We congratulate you, Professor Amitava, for being the first occupant of this prestigious chair. Thank you. Now may I request Professor V.V. Sastry to address on this occasion. Sir, we are eager to listen to you.
Well, Professor Vijay Murthy, Director Bhaskar Ramurthy, and a Professor of Electrical Engineering, Dr. Ashok Jinjanwala, and many other colleagues whose names I can probably recall, of course. But what I would like to first formally say is, of course, we have the people like Professor Mahesh, who is the Dean of Alumni and Corporate Relations. We have David Kovilpille, head of the BE department. And I believe that Kavi Rajan is also likely to be there, probably under the CEO for institutional advancement. This clearly shows, I have it prepared material, but I prefer to use that as a kind of a pointer rather than just speak verbatim. My first thanks go to the donors who brought me back to limelight to some extent. At the same time, I thank the director of the IIT Madras and the Dean alumni for their, what should I say, proactive, progressive thought that this, one of the oldest teachers from this IIT Madras should be respected or should be felicitated. And I thank all of them for this great honor. Yashpal was probably the first batch of students of 1970s. 70s is very sweet for me for two reasons. I just finished my PhD from Kharagpur in 68, joined here as a lecturer. And then Professor Ramchandran was the director. Those were my first golden days. I'm talking about those days. Of course, I joined as a lecturer, so with a PhD, but I didn't have teaching experience. So I knew what it means like. So, but I never knew that I'm a great teacher, a good teacher. Yashpal's memories about this teacher, even after 50 years, seem to have not faded from his memory. That is very surprising. He also, I retired from IIT Madras, but I have not retired from activity. That's the difference. Saying retirement is not a way to say full stop to your life. I'm sorry. Okay. And consequently, in fact, he has a passion for what I will call it painting. And most importantly, this donate something to a cause is what he is imbibed from his dad. So my grateful thanks to Mr. Yashpal and Mrs. Parminder for their thoughtful gift as an endowment in the name of Sastry VV at IIT. Okay, that's the first thing. And the most important part of the whole thing is, yes, you have got a donor, he is giving the funds, but how do you utilize that? How do you manage that? How do you control it? And there, our director, Bhaskar Ramurthy, and the Dean, SCR, they are wonderfully collaborating, communicating, effectively making this a reality. And I'm so happy that I'm seeing this in my today's life, or in June. In fact, this was initiated in December 2020, but it has now become a reality in June 2021. This clearly shows of talent with speed and results. This is very important, and that speaks of IIT Madras, and also that speaks of the director, the present director of IIT Madras, that is Professor Bhaskar Ramurthy. Okay, then the second point that I wanted to touch base with, the well-wishers of IIT. They are obviously students, faculty, friends, and families. If their families are happy, the faculty will be doing a more productive job. If the students are doing well, the IIT Madras name keeps going up. If the faculty, students, and their friends also do well, that's wonderful. In fact, I'm so happy that because I had many of these wonderful faculty amidst me in that 3 decades, from 68 to 98, my life in IIT Madras has become easier and gratifying. And of course, because of the time constraints, many of them are pretty good speakers. They have contributed a lot in their respective domains. And after reading any of these viewpoints, Professor Ashok Junjanwala, I know him when he first joined IIT Madras. Okay, and well, he's in fact, I appreciate his viewpoints. I've seen him working as hard as I do, even today. So I appreciate his viewpoints. Professor P.S. Rao, he is a mentor. He was also a dean of ICSR. Those were the days. In fact, the first dean probably is Professor Vijay Murthy. The second dean is Professor P.S. Rao. And this has happened during Professor Indresen's time, if I'm right. And the real thrust to this, first we make a building in the area of industrial consultancy and sponsored research. Then the sponsored research took over, and so on and so forth. And there are many faculty members who contributed to this kind of activity. I was so happy to see the progress and the growth of IIT Madras today. I have seen that they have 600 PhD and MS students for about 80 faculty. It is not an easy task, and they need to spend a lot of time with the students and make sure that there is a good quality of work that comes out of that. Well, what should I say? Growth breeds growth, but we should be careful when we have growth as well. We should be able to sustain it, and that's what Professor Bhaskar Ramurthy is presently doing. And of course, we have heard what many of my students have said, like Himanshu or Sivakumar. In fact, he was the last batch of PhD student that worked with me. He is also now in US. And Professor Bhuvaneswari, she's in IIT Delhi. I'm so happy that they joined here and they try to give their feedback about this teacher. This feedback is useful to me even at this age, who graced this occasion virtually. But we are also aware that this kind of feedback around this endowment-centric chair professorship at IIT Madras speaks volumes of why it should be there and why IIT Madras works for those ideas. So, in other words, it's a wonderful occasion, like without marketing, because we never marketed as ourselves as teachers in those days. We were doing our work, but today the technology is improving a lot, and you can see and perform remotely. So that's exactly what COVID-19 has done, even in second wave. In fact, the very fact that we are meeting today, in spite of the COVID second wave, clearly shows that technology has a very effective role to play in addition to effective teaching. Then I want to thank Professor Amitav Dasgupta, and my own memory of him, or the fact that he was quietly working with Professor Ken Bhatt, who is a good friend of mine. In fact, he did, probably Professor Bhatt and I belong to one category of faculty there in the department, as most of you do know about it. And Professor Amitav Dasgupta, I have seen his publications. Gallium nitride things are good for high frequency, low power supplies, but that's not meant for high power supplies. Okay, but the counterpart of that, where today, if you want to talk about electric vehicles, it is silicon carbide technology. That's where IIT Madras seems to be not doing enough. Okay, because low power technology, high frequency things are good for space applications, but not for a country so large as this, with all the issues and problems that we are facing in power engineering. As is already mentioned, I did read some of his. In fact, I have a copy of his book on solid state device modeling, and mostly on MOSFETs, but it could be extended to other things like silicon carbide as well. So my congratulations to him for his diligence, hard work, and he's a true academician as I see him from a distance. Of course, I have also observed him when I was in the department. My heartfelt thanks go to even Professor Mahesh and his staff, Vasanthi, Ilavarsi, Sri Kannan from NPTEL lab, and Professor David, I think I'll call him David, who is presently the head of the department, and his staff for making this function an online Sastry VB launch, okay, and under the prevailing COVID second wave in India, and still making it safe and most satisfying to all of us. Okay, and there is a last one point that I wanted to say. Much of the success is this is a typical saying, everybody knows about it. Much of the success goes to the woman behind the man, and that woman is Annapurna, my wife, who somebody said it is very difficult to get along with me. This lady did get along with me for 50 years. So I want to give that kind of message to those who say I'm difficult to get along. Yes, you rub people on the wrong side, you get it back. You don't get, I'm not a priest. That's the essence that I wanted to say. Okay, and she's very talented. She's a mathematician, and she questions me in many ways. And she's the first person to question me so that I can stand others outside the house. So I thank her for all the understanding that he has. That is the way I put my life in IITM and elsewhere in other countries. And as I said, IITM is my base. All other countries are satellites. But I left US and I came back to India to serve another 8 years. I have not forgotten India and the people and the kind of students that we have here, especially in Andhra Pradesh, a place where I was born, where I studied. So that's why I came back to Vizag. I thank my daughter and her husband, Dr. Ram, who is a PhD from IIT, not PhD from MIT, and a BTech student from IIT Madras. And of course, both of them are from IIT Madras. So that clearly shows I owe as much to IIT Madras as as the students think that they owe to IIT Madras. Thank you so much. And of course, my grandchildren, they are wonderful. And that's what makes my life complete in the wholesome journey of me and that of Annapurna. And I think, as I said, the last thing, I'm done with it. And I say thank you and Jai Hind.
Okay, we sincerely thank for the thoughts shared with us, Professor, and we are sure that Professor V.V. Sastry, man ahead of time, and the person who made that possible in 1970, the electric vehicle drove in the city by 2 BTech students, is being respected for the values taught beyond academics. Thank you once again, Professor. It was wonderful to listen to you all. We now request our director to give memento to Professor V.V. Sastry on this occasion. Uday, can you please?
Mrs. Sastry and Mrs. Sastry, gives me great pleasure to present you this memento virtually. I wish I could do this in person and shake your hands, but we will do that, I'm sure, sometime in the future. It's also great to see you going full steam at this, at this age, and doing so much for the community in Visakhapatnam. So congratulations for all that you're doing, and congratulations for your achievements. Very, very proud and privileged to be able to present this memento to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Really, Professor, our sincere thanks to all the teachers who have positively impacted our life and who gives a raised platform for our career. Now, I request our director to present the memento to our donor, Mr. Yashpal and Mrs. Tina Parminder Singh. Uday, can you please?
So, Dr. Sodhi, Mrs. Sodhi, I wish I had that electrothermal gun or whatever to shoot this memento across to you in person immediately, but I think those things will happen in the next few decades. But nevertheless, it's a great honor to, I've not met you in person, but as my colleague Mahesh said, it's been great for the Institute to reconnect with you. I hope to be able to personally meet you as at the earliest. Thank you for your wonderful gesture to your alma mater, your wonderful gesture in remembering your contribution of your teacher, and also for all that you've done for the country and community of where you've where you've lived for the last 40 or so years. So thank you very much, and please do remain connected to the Institute.
Thank you very much. And I'll be talking with Mr. Sastry about using electricity for modern weapons like rail gun and electromagnetic gun and all those things. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it, Director.
Thank you.
We will end the program with a vote of thanks by Mr. Kaviraj, our CEO of Institutional Advancement. Mr. Kaviraj?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Vasanthi. It is so pleasant to see such a good turnout for this event, actually. I was seeing about 70 people on a Saturday evening. That it shows how indebted and how much of gratitude we feel towards our teachers, right? First of all, let me start with Mr. Yashpal and Mrs. Tina. Thank you so much for your generous gift and the noble gesture. Certainly, our institute benefits hugely from the patronage of persons like you, and that's why we are able to expand our research areas and pursue new domains. Thank you so much, and felt really inspired by looking at the gratitude that you have for the institute as well as to the teachers. Right, a sincere gratitude to Professor V.V. Sastry, in whose honor this chair has been instituted. We all listened to the various people before and watched the videos. Thank you, sir. Actually, it is our honor. It's to be able to have this opportunity to institute this chair in your honor. Thank you for all the directions that you have given to all of us, all the students over the years, and really appreciate that. Sincere gratitude to our director, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, for gracing this occasion. I know I need not express a formal thank you because he's actually the host. So thank you, sir. Thank you for gracing this occasion. And sincere gratitude to Professor V.G.K. Murthy, Professor P.S. Rao, Professor David Koil Pillai, and others for the felicitation messages. Also, glad to notice the presence of our IIT Madras Foundation office bearers, Kamal, Girish, Shankar, all of them. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Dean Professor Mahesh, and of course, sincere gratitude to Professor Amitav Das Gupta, the recipient of this chair also. Thank you, sir, and absolutely grateful to you for accepting this honor. Thank you for all of that. I'm actually tempted to call out the names of all the 65, 70 persons, the stalwarts and luminaries in the respective fields who have attended this function. But I think due to the constraints on time, I will refrain from doing that. Thank you, each one of you, for gracing this occasion and demonstrating our commitment and our gratitude to the Institute and the teachers who have molded our outlook in life and who have influenced us so far. Thank you, everyone, and wish you all a very good evening for whatever is left. And good morning, good day to the other people who are in the other parts of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, one and all, for joining. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good night. Good morning.
Thank you. This was wonderful.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you all for coming. We'll see you soon. Stay safe.
Thank you,
everybody.
Professor Mahesh.
Stay safe, everybody. Stay safe, sir.
Congratulations, Professor Amitav Das, sir.
We are done. Okay.
Well done, Yash, Tina.
Sri Kumar.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. Yes.